Greetings adventurers and welcome to ADV in Japan. So today I'm going to be showing you guys an update to the bike and the luggage that I'm going to be taking with me on my next Japan adventure. Those of you that have been keeping up, you know, but I'll be going to Japan's fourth major island. That's the Shikoku island. Shikoku sits just below Honshu, kind of in between Honshu, the mainland, and Kyushu, the southern land. So having gone to Hokkaido, you know, it was kind of my first major adventure. There are a couple things that I really wish I had on my motorcycle, and you know, there was some adjustments I wanted to make to the luggage as well too, to make things a lot easier, mostly for filming, charging my devices and whatnot, but comfort as well too. And I'm going to be going through those changes. All right, so first thing is first, the major huge changes. I've got a tube inside my front tire because the front rim is slightly bent. Thankfully, I took this to KTM and they said that you should be fine. Just keep your eye on it, and if it starts to lose air, then you're probably going to want to replace the wheel itself. Now, because of that, I need to have the tools ready to be able to change, you know, that tube out if I have to, which is going to be a serious pain on this bike. So yeah, so I've got some tools for that. I've got my spoons in here, my tire spoons. I also have, you know, kind of that bead tool too inside of here as well. So that should help me. And then down here over on this side, I picked up a new little bag here. Actually, this was on my bicycle. I just took it off and kind of strapped it to here. This has got my tube inside there. It's got a couple other, I think it's got the entire repair kit for the rear tire. So if I do get a flat on that is tubeless. I can just plug it and I should be good to go. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. I don't have the money right now to throw into the, you know, the spoke wheels. I would love to have the spoke wheels on this thing, but just not something I can afford at this point. So yeah, that's one change I did, kind of a necessity there. The other thing too, if you guys noticed, I have removed the Rally windshield and I've replaced it with kind of this AliExpress special. And again, the reason why I did that is just because this is kind of for comfort. That Rally windshield, the buffeting literally hits right underneath the visor and it just rips your face up when you're on the highway. So I'm hoping this is going to do a little bit better. Definitely sits about maybe 6 or 7 centimeters higher than the other one. And this is on the low setting. So if I feel like I need even more protection, I can go ahead and shift this up to the higher setting. I'll get even more protection on there. So really cool, really happy with that. For those of you that have been following my channel, you'll probably know that I used to run a you know, a CarPlay unit here, and I decided to get rid of that. Well, partly because I shorted it out, but the other reason is I didn't use it. I had it on the bike for about 4 months, and I thought I would actually use it, and I just didn't, hardly at all. It spent more time off than it did on. The other pain in the butt about it, by the way, it's the AliExpress C5 Pro by Max CA. You can see the video for that here if you like. I mean, it might be something that that works for you, but it just didn't work for me. I didn't like having to continually have to connect my my phone every time I got on the bike, so it just became more of a hassle than it did to be really convenient and useful. So I've gone back to the quad lock mount. I've got a ball mount this time, so it's a lot more adjustable. And I also have the vibration dampener on here. My first go with this thing was not really good, so I'm hoping this new setup will work. I hope it's not going to be flapping all over the place. So yeah, you know, I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to explain again another reason why I decided to go back to this once I get into the drone and all that stuff and my new tank bag here. The next thing that I changed on the bike too is I've got the Atlas kind of knockoff from AliExpress. This is the Atlas throttle lock. I've had to do quite a bit of finagling to get this thing to really work the way I want it, but it is absolutely perfect now at this point. This is really going to help. I did some serious damage on my right hand because, you know, just 300-400 kilometers every day. Just did a number on my right hand because I couldn't give it a rest. So this will definitely allow me to, you know, swap hands and be able to get the proper rest that I need on both of my forearms here. Okay, so the next adjustment is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but you know, underneath here, I have mounted 2 L brackets. This is not my idea. I got this idea from a dude on Facebook that I'm friends with. This guy is really cool. He's got a great channel. I don't even want to try and pronounce his name. I think it's Ferrati. I'm not quite sure. Sorry, dude, if I mispronounced your name. In any case, I saw this on his bike and I was like, dude, did you just like go to the hardware store and just bend a bar? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I can't believe I didn't think of that either. So this should really help with the panniers, preventing them from getting in and touching the wheel here. I never really had any issues with it touching the exhaust. The bigger threat to me was these things sinking down and hitting the tire, you know, if I bottomed out or something like that. So this is definitely gonna help with that. It should eliminate that. On here you can see I've got a little GoPro mount here that I use for rear shots. I just put that on there. But I've got it on both sides here. So this should really, really help keep everything very, very nice and stable. And it's a very cheap fix. I think the cheapest saddle stays that I can find online out of India are still going to cost me, you know, close to $100 after shifting all that. So thanks, Ferrati. This is just a great, super simple, easy upgrade. So happy about that. Not so much of an upgrade because I did buy this while I was in Hokkaido, but I'm definitely going to have it for now, is the fuel bottle attachment that goes on the Enduristan Blizzard M. So I've got a good, you know, 900 milliliters of fuel there ready to go. Yeah, this is really going to help save me, kind of give me that peace of mind. So the other thing I did also is I went ahead and purchased a different air pressure sensor units, and that's because this one is hardwired in. And the reason I decided to go for a hardwired unit is I didn't want to bring an extra cord to charge it, because the cord for my previous one was like this special, like, it wasn't a USB, it was like some special weird cord. So I couldn't just, you know, use a USB cord from somewhere else. I had to actually bring that. And that's just extra stuff I have to worry about. And it's an extra thing that I have to charge. So I didn't want to have that. So yeah, I just, you know, basically this is just running right down in line with the shift light here, down inside into the headlight, and it's hooked up to the ignition. The nice thing too is this has got a really, it's got a good voltage, or sorry, it's got USB output. So this is going straight into my phone. I'll be explaining in a moment here what these yellow little gaskets are. So, all right, the next and final thing that I've done with the bike is I went ahead and waterproofed all of my USB connections. So I had a couple issues when I was in Hokkaido. There were a few days where it was very moist. The mornings, just tons of mist, tons of, you know, that's, oh my goodness, you guys, I'm forgetting my English. Condensation. I hate it when I can remember the Japanese, but I can't remember the English. There were days, mornings where I woke up and there was so much condensation on the bike, you know, so the cords too. I had a couple days of rain as well where that produced wet cords, and I couldn't charge my phone, I couldn't charge my devices or anything like that. So what I did is I went ahead and devised kind of a little waterproof system here. So it really worked out perfect. You guys have probably seen these little waterproof connectors online. These are on Amazon. You can get them for really, really super cheap. And the little rubber gaskets that go on there just absolutely fit the USB absolutely perfect. These ones I had to clip for the USB Type-C. I had to clip and you know, kind of redo. But for these, man, they just slip right on there. Absolutely perfect. And then what I did is I just chopped off, you know, I lopped off that, shaved it down, filed it down, and then I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I basically just, you know, glued these on here and kind of fashioned my own little waterproof system. So you've got these little flanges here, and the USBs will just go ahead and plug in there, and you've got a nice seal on there. So totally sealed off. I don't have to worry about any water getting in there and preventing me from charging my devices. And this these cords right here run up into my tank or my handlebar bag. This is a new addition. I just picked this up. The reason I decided to go with this is I wanted to have a dedicated battery bag. And the reason I wanted to do that is because, as you can see, I've got my water tank inside here. So let's go ahead and take a look at my battery bank in here. I've got my drone charger. I've got my Insta360 just the regular 1RS, and then I've got the Insta360 Ace Pro charger. Everything in here waterproof, locked and tight. So really, really happy with this. The other thing too that this allows me to do is I've got a full piece of Velcro here that I can place my drone controller on. I will show you guys how I hook that up later in a moment here. But first, just to kind of show you a cool little nifty trick I did. So this actually mounts directly to the handlebars. And I didn't like that. I wanted to be able to remove this quickly. So what I did is I just used the existing mount here and kind of fashioned out a little piece that goes on top. And then I just bolted a GoPro mount to that. It's also got the 3M tape on it, so this is not coming off. And then on the other side here, I just went ahead and screwed in, you know, the male side. So this can be totally removable. I can go ahead and just be like, if I'm done riding, just pull that out and I'm done. I've got all my chargers. I can go into the hotel. I can plug this directly into my wall charger and I've got all my batteries charging, good to go. I wake up in the morning, come here, put that on there, and this is solid. This is really super solid. I don't know if you guys noticed inside here, but I actually fashioned this thing out a little bit stronger. So on the bottom here, you can see there's white. I actually put that in there just to make this thing even stronger. So super solid, good. And you know, I mean, this totally moves freely. It's fine. It doesn't get in the way. Those cords are not at all threatened of getting pinched off or anything like that, or preventing the bike from moving or steering properly. It totally works perfect, works good. Okay, so one other luggage change that I made here is I decided to not go with a backpack this time, a hydropak, and that's just because I've been dealing with some back issues lately, and I don't want to have anything on my back this time. So that means I need to store my water pack in here, which it is, and it kind of just sits in there. I've got my little separator here. This is also covered in that kind of neoprene kind of stuff, so you know, it's you know, this kind of sharp stuff in here is not going to cut that bag. It's not going to leak at all, so I should be good to go. I've got my little drone controller in here, which is attached via Velcro on the side, and I can go ahead and pull this out. And this is what I've devised here. So again, as I mentioned before, I've got a nice piece of Velcro here, and I've purchased an extra, I think this is a 30 centimeter long cord. It's longer than the stock one. I can go ahead and stick my drone controller on here, you know, make sure this is all zipped down. And then I've got this on a ball mount, so I can actually take the, you know, the phone and actually get it pretty close enough to the controller that, you know, this cord right here is not going to be strained at all. So basically that'll just sit up there. I've tested this out. I've put it on the bike. I've ridden the bike and it just works absolutely perfect. Yeah, so that was a really cool kind of idea that I came up with myself. And I think this is really going to work out nice in terms of being able to get the drone out really fast. Now you may be wondering, where is my drone? So I used to store the drone and the controller back here. Now I no longer have to get off the bike to get the drone. I've also been practicing launching the drone from my hand and also retrieving the drone from my hand. So I've placed the drone in this little bag over here. This is just a little magazine pouch that I used to have back in the States. Obviously I can't make use of it here. So this too wasn't my original idea either. I got this idea actually from Kevin Loves Tacos. That's his YouTube channel. He also has an Adventure 390. So I've got 3 points holding this thing on here. It's very, very tight. And then down here, I've got a piece of Velcro that's kind of holding it as well down here. It's preventing it from kind of flopping around. And inside here, I've got two things. I've got my drone inside of a cushioned bag here. So if anything were to fall out or if it were to get hit, there's a thick piece of cushion on both sides of this. It should be able to prevent anything from getting damaged. So yeah, I can just pull my drone out, get it in my hands, and I can launch it from wherever I need. I've also got my batteries in here in a waterproof bag, or not a waterproof, but it's more like a dry bag. If it were to rain though, obviously, you know, I would probably want to throw like a waterproof, some type of waterproof sack on here, because this itself isn't waterproof. But there is a drain you know, like all magazine pouches, you've got a little drain hole down at the bottom. So if any water does get in there, it will drain out the bottom. So I should be good to go with that. So I'm pretty much really set up good to go here. I did add also a, you know, a first aid pack that I used in the military as well. These are really great. You can just pull that out and you're ready to go. It's kind of quick access if you need to get to it. So one final thing with the luggage here is that I'm gonna try and run with a US Kriega 30 with a Kriega 10 on top. Before I would have two 10s kind of strapped to the side here, and that made accessing my panniers really difficult and kind of a pain in the butt, especially when I was camping and all that. So I kind of want to be able to reduce my luggage down. I think with some of this extra added luggage on the sides here, I think I might be able to get away with it. Also, there's a couple things that I got rid of that I don't think I need that I brought in Hokkaido that required me to have that extra 10 on there. So yeah, if you guys want to know what's inside of these bags, you can check this video out in the link up in the corner. Okay guys, that's it. I think this does it for the updates to the bike. Yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, you know, anything that you saw that you might think you want to do yourself, then just let me know in the comments. I can give you more details about it. Other than that, yeah, that's it. Until next time, you guys, this is ADVinJapan, out.